Welcome to Experts on Expert. I'm Dax Shepard. Who are you, young person?
Monica Padman.
Oh, going by the same name.
Same name, Monica Padman.
Thought maybe in 19 you might try out a new moniker. A moniker.
Ha, ha, ha.
Wait, have you already thought of that?
Of course.
Oh, no. Did people say that to you on the playground?
No.
Shove you in the back?
That would be such an intelligent
It'd be worth getting
diss.
that burn.
Yeah.
Well, we have an intelligent guest on today. Scott Harrison with a son at the end.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to say Scott Harris. I don't even know why, but it's Scott Harrison. And he created an incredibly effective charity called Charity Water
Yes.
that my wife has been involved with for years. And I have been very skeptical of because I have all this skepticism for white people who go into Africa to change things. I've learned about a lot of those well-intentioned things gone awry in anthropology.
Sure.
And so I was not willing to give Scott Harrison a fair shake. So he came into the attic and he got me.
He did.
He gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got me.
Yeah.
I've been got. Well, you'll see just how much I got
Yeah.
because that fucking checkbook came out.
What a story.
Incredible story. Family story growing up. I
Yeah.
was riveted. I was on the edge of my lazy boy, Monica.
They'll get to hear it.
Well,
right
Moniker Padman. Oh, let me just also throw out there, we do have some tickets left in San Antonio. If you go onto my Instagram page and just follow the link in my bio, I think it'll take you to some ticket sales. And we have a few left.
Come see us.
Come see us. We're going to fucking rage down in San Antonio.
are.
Listen, I'm not writing a check my ass can't cash because we're bringing a very funny guest.
Yeah, we are.
It's going to be a party. So if you're anywhere within 1,000 miles of San Antonio, go buy some tickets and also enjoy Scott Harrison. We get support from Quince.
Have you been wearing the Quince linen shirts?
Yeah, I've been wearing them a suspicious amount. Yeah, European linen ones, they're $34, which is genuinely insane for how nice they are.
It doesn't even make sense.
Well, here's the deal. They work directly with the factories, cut out all the middlemen, so you're paying for the actual quality and not some brand's marketing budget. Everything's 50 to 80% less than comparable stuff. I love it because it's all very classic and traditional, and I know I'm going to be able to keep it for a very long time, and the quality's off the charts.
That's true. The style is very consistent. Whatever you get there, you walk down the street, you're going to look good. They have these lightweight cotton sweaters, which I love for when it cools down at night. It's nice drape around your shoulders in the summer and then throw it on when it gets a little cool. And it's not just clothes. They do home stuff, ding, 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 travel stuff, everyday essentials. It's all the same model, quality without the markup.
Make your summer wardrobe easier. Go to quince.com/Dax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Dax for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Dax. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place.
Let's talk bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, but it does not have to be that way.
With SoFi high-yield checking and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit.
No account or overdraft fees, which feels rare these days. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, perfect for getting ahead of a bill or grabbing what you need right when you need it.
Plus, get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at SoFi.com/armchair. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
Scott Harrison.
Hey, thanks
How
for
are
having
you?
me.
Welcome to the attic. First, let me just compliment your shoes. They're fantastic.
I bought them in an airport last week in Minneapolis because I forgot shoes and I had to make a speech.
I find that so hard to believe. They're very fashionable. Was there like a really high-end store at the airport?
It was called Johnston and Murphy. But this is funny. So I was speaking in Phoenix. I was in Minneapolis on the way to Phoenix, and I have this terrible shock that, all I have is the really crappy shoes that I had on me that I was flying with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking to the hotel and the concierge. There's no way to get any decent shoes. So I'm troving around Minneapolis airport, and I find this store, and I get the shoes.
They're
and,
beautiful.
Then I come home. My wife's like, they're really nice. So last night I bought another pair.
Good for you.
They're just going to sit in the box.
Isn't
because
that-
when you find good shoe sneaks, I don't know
Well,
what
more
you
than
call
that, you
these.
just blew past the real thing. Is if your wife likes anything, you like triple down on it, right? Like if my wife just happens to say my hair looks good a certain way, I'll just be running that hairstyle until she says otherwise.
And buying enough of that product.
Yeah. So just to give people like a really quick, you started and are the CEO of Charity Water.
Yep.
And this is a very, very successful charity. My wife has been very involved in it. I guess that's how I knew about it.
She came to Ethiopia on an amazing trip with us to see some projects that were built in her 30th birthday. When all of her fans came.
How much did she raise? Do you remember?
She raised $100,000.
Okay. All right. I think she could do better today. That was about 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the goal might have been $30,000.
Oh, wow. So she blew by that by 333%.
So there you go.
Overachiever.
Just quick math that you missed, Monica. But yes, I do remember when she went there, and this will be a very fun conversation for you and I because she, as you know, is in lockstep with the way you see the world. And I am just innately very cynical. So,
Yes, so fun. Great.
Yeah. So this will be
a fun one.
It really will. And
we set up the organization mainly for cynical people.
Oh, really?
And
Oh,
my
good. So
biggest donor is actually one of the greatest cynics about charity.
who's that?
He's a guy called Michael Birch. We
Michael
can tell that story
Birch.
later.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
a crazy story.
So right out of the gates, I because I'm a piece of shit, I can't relate all that much to people who have dedicated themselves to something selfless, right? So I'm immediately suspicious of anyone that's done that because I can only think I'm a piece of shit that wouldn't do that. So this person must have some secret or something, right? And I've been proven wrong time and time again. I don't know if you know.
Who proved you wrong recently?
Well, have you ever read the book? It's a John Krakauer book called Where Men Win Glory, and it's the Pat Tillman story. He was a professional football player in Arizona, and then 9/11 happened, and he, I believe, was playing in the very next football game to be played in New York, and he was playing in the Giant Stadium, and he could see where the Twin Towers used to be. And he quit the NFL and joined the military. And this was a very public thing. And I said to myself when I read this, what kind of weirdo would quit the NFL to join the military? This guy's either A, killed somebody and is repenting for something, or he's some crazy Christian crusader who thinks that this is a holy war he needs to embark on. I carried that opinion of him for maybe 8-10 years. And then I read this book and come to find out he was just a absolutely stellar human being with integrity that I can't ever comprehend. And in fact, once he joined, he was very upset we were going to Iraq. He didn't agree with that. They were trying to make him the poster child of the military. He refused. He ended up being kind of punk rock while he was there. And then he was killed while he was there.
I saw a documentary on this.
Yes.
They made a film or a doc
called
on it.
Tillman, and it's fantastic. And they tried to cover up that he was killed through friendly fire. At any rate, so that's just one example of the times I've been wrong.
Okay, well, we'll see if I can win you over then.
But I'll tell you what interested me was not your charity work, is just your story leading up to the charity work. Now I can relate to hugely. So tell me a little bit about your childhood and what happened when you were 5 with your mother.
Yeah, I was born into a very normal middle-class family in Philadelphia. Dad worked at an electrical engineering company. They sold transformers, power supplies for the Navy and to municipalities. Mom was a journalist, so she would write for the Philadelphia Inquirer and the local paper.
Did she have kind of a specialty that she did, or just
just
anything?
feature news? Just loved to write. They met at UPenn. When I was 4, they moved to this drab gray house in Morristown, New Jersey, to take my dad's commute down from an hour to about 22 minutes. And what we didn't know, and we moved it in the dead of winter, this energy efficient house on the end of a cul-de-sac, the elementary school I would be able to walk to, and my dad would be able to spend more time at home with me and hopefully our growing family. What we didn't know is that this house had a carbon monoxide gas leak. And this was almost 40 years ago, so they had not yet invented the detector that we buy in blister packs at the Home Depot.
Monica's father's obsessed with these, and he
Yes.
sends them to her all the time. And I've inherited one through her secondhand. So just
We could have used one.
yes.
So we move into the house, and we all start to get a little sick. Headaches, nausea. My dad and I are only sleeping in the house. I'm going to school. He's going to work. Mom, in the dead of winter, is fixing up the house, unpacking boxes, putting picture frames on the wall, working on the basement. So on New Year's Day, 1980, she walks across the bedroom and she collapses unconscious on the floor. After a long series of blood tests, they find these massive amounts of carboxyhemoglobin or carbon monoxide in her bloodstream. And, thankfully she didn't die, but she's
Can I ask really
never
quick,
the same
how
again.
long had you guys lived there before that happened?
A couple months.
Oh, geez. Okay.
It happened quick. I think it was 3 months.
I wonder what kind of damage you were sustaining during that.
So we bounced back, my dad and I. I remember having tons of allergies, tons of issues as a kid, and then just bounced back. I guess the exposure was limited to nights for
Right.
me, or the 9 hours or so, and she got the full 24. Maybe her body was even more susceptible to this. So what happens is her immune system shuts down in the most binary way. So she is now unable to process anything chemical in the world. Perfume, car fumes, soap, aftershave, all
Does
these
she have an
things.
autoimmune response where her body just starts attacking itself if she...
I remember the symptoms would be terrible headaches, migraines, nausea, hypertension. She would get these huge rashes. Her face would swell up. So of course, what you would do is my dad is the sleuth. He's trying to find the source of it. He eventually, with a plumber friend, finds the crack himself.
Oh, wow.
He had invited the gas company out a few times, suspecting this. They'd checked all the lines, said, hey, everything's fine. And then my dad and a plumber HVAC guy eventually rip out the furnace and find these little pinhole cracks that
wow.
allowed the carbon monoxide to escape. So he throws this mangled thing out. And Mom, now we start visiting doctors.
I don't want to make light of this, but this is almost like the Poltergeist movie. Like, I would be out of the house, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, if the house had injured Mom to this degree, I feel like I would just be like, all right, guys, we gotta figure it out.
So we did. We became nomadic for a little while. She
Okay.
would go to clinics. I remember this clinic in Montrose, Pennsylvania, where she lived effectively in an isolation ward. And they were trying to figure out what made her sick. Did everything make her sick? So they took her diet down to, I think it was 24 foods. And she could only have one food per meal. So breakfast would be walnuts. Lunch would be broccoli. Dinner would be cod. Tuesday would have a completely different food. And she was reacting to almost all of these foods.
Oh, my
I think they
goodness.
tested over 100 foods. She reacted to 90% of the foods. Drinking pure spring water, no exposure to anything chemical. So then we start moving around with neighbors while my dad is trying to figure out how to purify the house. So instead of moving, because they actually didn't know, it's actually a fair question, why they didn't. He was determined to purify the house. So he rips out the gas, puts in a different heating system. He rips out every bit of wall-to-wall carpet because there's formaldehyde used in the sealant.
Sure.
So he and his buddies, are now ripping carpet. I've got pictures of all this stuff. And he turns the house safe. She comes back in, is still sick.
Okay.
Now everything makes Mom sick. The wind will blow off the 4-lane highway the wrong way, and her body symptoms will spike. The
And
wind
once she
changes
goes
to-
into one of these kind of almost, it sounds like anaphylactic shocky kind of histamines, what does she have to then do? Lie down and does she take an EpiPen? Like what happens once she has a...
she would use
flare-up?
oxygen.
Okay.
It was called clearing. She would walk briskly in the woods. She would get in a car and go out to Rancocas Woods, and then she would try and just aerobically, purify her body.
Right.
So I remember Mom, in these ski pants, just kind of whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Because this is
Brisk
1980,
walking
81.
This is exactly 80, 81.
Yeah.
So family planning stops. I'm now 4, going on 5, thrust into a caregiver role. I start helping Dad take care of her, cooking, cleaning, weird food. I mean, I remember she couldn't use seasoning. She would give me a piece of cod and I would go nuke it. And this slimy kind of congealed, disgusting fish I would take up to her room. My
What
parents.
does this do to you socially? You're probably embarrassed to bring kids around, or
Well, they can't come in the house.
Okay, they
There's
can't even
signs
come
on
over.
all of the doors.
Oh, my goodness.
saying "keep out."
Oh, wow.
Environmentally ill patient inside. No perfume, no soap. We would change our clothes to come in the house.
It's
So
like you
if I went
lived
to
at the
school-
Intel lab. You had to get the air shower before you
Yeah.
could even go. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I would have sets of clothes that would be in the garage that we would call it getting pure. So let's say I would pick up, I don't know, perfume or hairspray or smoke out at a restaurant.
Yeah.
I would come back. I couldn't come in with those clothes.
Really?
And they would have to be washed in baking soda multiple times and a special hypoallergenic soap called Basic H. So there's this whole culture.
Did it make you OCD about things? Like currently, are you overly aware at all times of things, smells, fragrances, all these things? Like how does that leave your psyche?
Yeah, 40 years later, two things. So mom's kryptonite was fabric softener and nail polish remover. And you could argue that neither of those are probably good for any of us.
Right.
And
That
they've
makes me
actually done
immediately
some-
think of my father-in-law. He can't have fabric softener either. He'll
That drives me crazy to this day. So we have kids, and my wife and I are always getting hand-me-downs from friends. And if a hand-me-down comes in, a sweatshirt for my son, I'm washing that thing like 20 times. I am trying to get the smell out.
Yeah.
Same thing. One of the biggest fights I've ever been in my wife was around using nail polish remover in the house because I came in and I felt like I immediately had a headache. I mean, I almost felt like I was getting my mom's symptoms.
Right.
40 years later.
Yes.
That's about it.
Do you find that throughout your adulthood you were attracted to incredibly needy women?
Sure. In the beginning, in the 18 to 25 range. Yes.
Yeah, because what a fundamental relationship mother and son is. And if your role
Was to fix her.
was to fix her, and of course, I can only assume she had to be so grateful. I mean, you have a child now, right? Or do you have two? You have two, and I have two.
2 and 4.
The notion of my little sweethearts taking care of me, I can only imagine I would A, feel terrible about it. B, I would just be showering them with love and affection and gratitude. And was that kind of the pattern?
In the early days, it was really hard for her because, and so much of this is now pieced together through photo books. And pre-mom's illness, there are photos of her taking me to the zoo, to the science museum, to the Franklin Institute, to apple picking, right? All of these activities, like mother-son activities. And then post-illness, it's a story of masks, right? My mom would wear these charcoal masks, oxygen tanks. Everything just changes. It's hard to find a photo of her without a mask on. And, one of the dynamics that was happening for me this whole time as a child was I didn't know was this real?
Right. I
this
was going to say,
psychosomatic?
yes,
Is this in her
I
head?
would be suspicious that my mother wanted attention and wanted the world to revolve around her. And I would probably be bouncing
waited on her.
back and forth all the time about
Yeah.
that.
And a specific example of that, she would claim that electromagnetic radiation would make her sick. Okay. So TV, radio. Now, I'm thinking she just doesn't want me to watch TV.
Sure.
She is trying to ruin my life. Rain on my parade.
Yes.
So one night, and I think this is early teenage years, I remember I'm going to prove this. I'm going to prove that it's in mom's head. And she is manipulating her symptoms to get me to watch less TV.
Yeah.
So I go up one night, it's pitch black in the hallway. She's gone to sleep, and I have a radio. And I plug in the radio next to her door, and I turn the volume all the way down, and I aim the radio right through the door at her bed.
Okay.
Okay, all night, silently blasting radio waves
Potentially
in her safe room.
murdering her.
in her safe room.
Right.
So, I'm waking up in the morning. I'm going to declare this victory, watch all the TV, listen to all the radio I want.
Yeah.
Well, she's incredibly ill in the morning.
Oh, my goodness. And then the guilt,
and she was in
probably.
her safe room, so she was scared. Like, what could have happened? So at this point, we had built. She was living in a bathroom upstairs. It was a 4-bedroom house. The bathroom door was covered in aluminum foil, layers of tin foil to keep any lingering smell of varnish in. The army cot that she slept on had been washed in baking soda 20 times. Everything had been scrubbed down. So she's in her safe room, goes to bed, wakes up sick. She has no idea why.
Oh,
Now, I never told her.
Do you feel terribly guilty when that happens, or
I
not
don't
so
actually
much?
It's funny. I actually don't remember the feeling of guilt as much as I remember. Okay, it's real. Putting that doubt, really aside.
And now, when you are going, are you even allowed to go have a social life and spend the night at other friends' houses? Are you required to be there? Okay.
Yep, they did the best that they could. And my friends would be able to play soccer in the backyard. They just couldn't come in the house.
And when you would go to a friend's house, was it just like Bacchanalia? Or did you think like,
Oh, I went nuts. I was watching Predator in their basement, you know?
right, and you're eating shitty food and all that? And are you, I would be fetishizing all
Well,
these
my parents
people's-
are also, they're Christians. They have a deep Christian faith. They decide not to sue the gas company for negligence.
Okay.
Shocks everybody. So they're very conservative and they were very strict. You know, not only am I kind of in this caregiver role, which just stunk because why couldn't my mom be like all the other moms?
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to do some of the things that my other friends were. So when I remember watching R-rated movies and my friends in the basement,
We're the same
pounding
age.
Doritos.
Yeah, you're like Porky's and fucking Revenge of the Nerds.
Yep.
Yeah, seeing
Goonies,
boobs and stuff.
Rambo, First Blood,
Yeah,
like
love First Blood.
about last night, St. Elmo's Fire.
I think we see Rob Lowe's buns in About Last Night. That's neither here nor there. But what's your relationship with religion during that period?
I am signed up playing
Okay.
piano on Sundays in the church. We were non-denominational, so they moved, from church. We moved twice, so they weren't necessarily towing any denominational line. They were just good Bible-believing Christians,
Right.
And it actually brought out the best in both of them. It gave my mom this unbelievable hope and optimism. She wouldn't complain. The Bible said, "Don't complain." Give thanks in everything. So I specifically remember as a kid, we would go to the grandparents every once in a while, and Mom had a safe room prepared there, and Grandpa would smoke his pipe in the basement. And the smell would waft up from the basement into her safe room. She would have to go out and walk in the woods, furiously trying to clear these
Well,
symptoms.
Dad probably thinks what you think, even worse. This is in her head.
Everybody at my dad's work thought that he's like, your wife's crazy.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Chuck, women have, they have
hysteria.
issues like this,
Yeah,
hysteria.
yeah.
He got every version of that line.
Yeah.
I remember when that happened, she would walk in the woods saying, "Thank you, God, for the tobacco smoke. Thank you for the thing that made me sick." Like there was just this stoicism in her. My dad didn't leave her, so he's a business executive, super good looking guy, ex-Navy, tennis player, in great shape. And now he has an invalid on his hands.
Yeah.
Living in a room, not in his room, not in the bedroom.
Are they both still alive?
She just passed.
She did.
Pancreatic cancer a couple months ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Not of this illness. She fought for 40 years. Got to meet the grandkids.
And did they stay married that whole
They
time?
did. So
And Dad never had a girlfriend?
never did.
Jeez
never
Louise.
ever did. He's
That's
an
incredible.
amazing man. She just passed away just short of their 50th wedding anniversary.
Wow. Did the condition that the carbon monoxide caused, did that lessen over time or did it stay consistent for 40 years?
She just got good at dealing with it.
She did.
Yeah, you learn how to avoid the things that make you sick, and the house just got more pure. There were moments where she would be a little stronger, and then there would be a setback. I remember there was a time when she was actually doing well enough that people could come and stay at the house, like family friends could come and stay, as if they got pure. So again, they're wearing our clothes,
Right.
that have been properly washed, and wouldn't you know, one of these families comes over and dumps by accident a bottle of cologne next to the central air vent in the guest room.
Goodness. I mean, this is the kind of shit that you can only happen when you're tiptoeing around someone. That this would be the worst thing that can happen.
And of course,
because I've never heard of someone doing that outside of this.
Right? I don't think I've ever dumped a bottle. You know, I've spilled a lot of things, but not the one thing that then gets in the entire
Circulated.
central. Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Did she sleep in her safe room for 40 years, or was she able to go back into the bedroom?
Back and forth. There was a period of years where she had to sleep there. Then there were times when she could sleep with my dad, and as that room was also pure. I mean, the whole house just became pure. You know, you just start getting really good at that. So it was back and forth. She would be, towards the end, she was definitely sleeping in my dad's room. Just one more detail, which just shows how weird this was. So Mom used to love to read, and now the print makes her sick. You know, that new print. You go into
probably
a bookstore,
the adhesion and the binding,
all
right?
of it.
Yeah.
So as a kid, let's say I'm 8 or 9 now, I learned how to bake her books in the oven on
get all
warm.
those fumes out.
Get all the fumes out, or put them out in the sun on the back lawn to outgas. So that there were these words. Clearing was trying to get rid of symptoms. Outgassing.
Is anyone advising you guys? Is there an expert on planet
There are
Earth in
doctors,
this?
yeah.
There are.
And you find a community of other people with conditions similar to Mom's. It was called environmental illness.
Okay.
Just EI. I remember that there was almost always, in the community of people, there was almost always an incident where the immune system shut down. One of Mom's friends was living in a nice rural neighborhood, and one day ChemLawn, the pesticide company, just comes and sprays everybody's lawns. And one person in that neighborhood is never the same again.
Oh, wow.
Just something in those pesticides reacted with the weakness in their body. A doctor described it once as the barrel theory. That, you know, we all have this space in our barrel where we can just fight off all these chemicals coming in. So you get stuck in the 405 and you're sucking in this terrible fumes. Your barrel's not full, so process it. Mom's barrel was always full.
Right.
So anything comes in, there's no room to process that.
Okay, so very
weird.
unique childhood. I have to, like, when I find out then what happens as a result of this childhood, I'm not shocked in the slightest. So you're into music, right? You join a band at some point. Do you go to college?
Well, before that, my parents put me in a Christian school in the 9th grade. So this is freshman year of high school, and there are 9 students, and it's in the basement of a church. And the school can't afford teachers for all the subjects. So
You weren't miserable enough at home, so they had to find a school that would just be.
Oh, this gets better. So we're taught by VHS.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, remember those
great way to
carts
learn.
that they used to wheel in with the gray ribbed mats?
Big JVC top loader on it.
Yep. And a monitor would make sure that we were watching science for 50 minutes, which felt like, 1,000 hours. So after 9th grade, I tell my parents that I'm leaving home.
Okay, right.
Okay, I'm going to run away
Yeah.
if I go back to this school. So I said, look, you got to send me to the public school. And don't worry, I'm not going to be corrupted. I'm not going to go bacchanal. I'm not going to
Get worldly.
Not going to get worldly. It'll be
Yeah.
fine, Mom and Dad. And there's 4,000 people at the school. So imagine going from 9
This is in
to
New Jersey or Philadelphia?
New Jersey, yeah.
New Jersey, okay.
Hunterdon County, middle of Jersey. So they send me over, and all of their worst fears, like immediately, just I fall in with the wrong crowd.
You ate that apple the second you got it.
I grow my hair down to my shoulders immediately.
Okay.
I join a rock band. I start driving to Philadelphia and New York City, playing CBGBs and wetlands, and like
okay.
we're actually good. We're getting.
What was the name
booked
of your band?
It's called Sunday River, after a ski resort none of us had ever been to. So I fall in with the wrong crowd. I'm late on the vices. Okay, so I'm actually the good kid in the band. I'm the driver. Okay, they're all doing drugs. They're all getting laid.
Yeah.
They're all getting hammered, and I'm still, holding on to the virtues, right, that came with my upbringing. At this point, get through high school, but I'm so disinterested in studies.
I can just imagine the amount of freedom you're experiencing being away from that heavy childhood home of yours. It must just be euphoric to just get the fuck out of there for a period of time. That just normal teenage existence probably was euphoria inducing.
Yeah. And now I change from that kid who's taking care of mom, who's caring about who wanted to be a doctor when I grew up so that I could cure her and others. Now I'm this rebellious, angsty, I'm coming home with the band and she would yell to me and I would just ignore her and go in the house. So I really began to resent her, the rules, the curfews or whatever. And of course, she feels like she's losing control. Dad too probably tries to exert more authority. Yeah. And, that just pushes me farther and farther away.
Yes.
So that was high school years.
Right. So you then go to New York City with the band?
Yep.
When you graduate?
I moved first.
Okay.
And I'm the band's manager. Okay. And I'm going to get us a record deal. And we are going to become rich and famous, and we're going to tour with all the other great bands that we listen to. That doesn't work. Right. The band immediately breaks up. We hate each other. So, okay, my dad has saved up for college. So I'm not going to college, though, because who needs to go to college when your band is going to be touring around the world?
Right.
So the band breaks up, and the last kind of consultant, guy helping us get our A&R deal was an NYU grad. And he said, well, look, kid, you're an idiot if you don't take your dad's money and at least get a degree. Like, you can still live in New York City. You can even go to NYU part-time. Just go at night.
Yeah.
Go do film. Go to Tisch.
Right.
Do artsy stuff. So I announced to my father and mother that I'm going to be doing them a giant favor, and I will take that, whatever, $100,000 some dollars and, scholarship free, go pay New York University.
Right.
And I start doing that.
My wife went to NYU, and I went to UCLA, so I always bag on NYU as much as I can, even though I secretly think it's a great school. I tell her all the time.
Well, I didn't go to NYU either, really. So I applied the same principles of studying there. So that's happening. I'm going to NYU. And then one of the guys that had booked my band, he was a club promoter. And he had brought our band in. We would bring some people to the club, and he was running this music open mic night. It was a showcase. It was a place called Club Tattoo on 51st Street. And I remember that he would make the lion's share of the money, collecting all the door, and then he would just throw us maybe $100 to split 6 ways. Right. Not even enough for gas. So when the band breaks up, I approach him and say, hey, I'll work for you for free. Will you teach me this business? Because it looked pretty cool. Sure. The other side of the velvet rope, the organizer of the party, the person who decided who came in and who stayed out, the guy with all the drink tickets. Sure. So I partner with him. I'm 19. And we move to a legendary club called Nell's on 14th Street. And we start this open mic night called Voices at Nell's. And it's an all black R&B mic night. And my business partner was a singer. He was a really talented singer. He'd been on Star Search and just knew his way around this group. And I just learned I had a talent for the business, for making the flyers, for putting together the lists, later the email list. We were early on that. And we wind up building this extraordinarily successful open mic night on Tuesdays that Shaka Khan comes to, Prince comes to and performs, Brian McKnight, Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown. It was amazing. Stevie Wonder.
And at that point, do you now start approaching other venues to say, hey, look what we made happen on Tuesday night at this place. We can make that happen over here on Wednesday.
Yeah, no, first I screw my partner up.
Okay.
So he decides to go on the road with Smokey Joe's Cafe and says, why don't you look over the business while I'm gone for 6 months? He leaves, and then I fire him. Okay. And take all the money.
Okay, great.
Partner with the club owner.
Okay. The guy who owned the club.
There was kind of the GM of the club. And, maybe for 4 weeks, he's whispering in my ear saying, why are you paying this guy? He's not doing any work. He's on the road making tons of money, touring. I should be your partner. Yes. Let's turn this thing into something else.
Yes.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Confidence. It's listening to your gut. It's moving forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. For nearly 160 years, Pacific Life has helped people keep their promises, building confidence for generations. Whether you're confident in your financial future or just beginning to envision it, we're here to help. Ask a financial professional how. Pacific Life, the power of a promise. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York, Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
And at this point, are you morally and ethically, are you feeling at all, and maybe you're completely unconscious of this, but are you thinking, I already looked out for someone else my whole life. I am now looking out for me, and I don't really give a shit. Like, it is my turn to, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, it's my turn. And it's my turn to explore breaking the rules.
Yeah.
Right? If those rules, if the church, if the religion was there to oppress me or to keep me from living my best life, exploring the world, I needed to see what was out there.
Yeah.
But this happens slowly. So I start smoking. I start
Cigarettes.
drinking.
Okay.
Start drinking. Start sleeping around.
Okay.
Start marijuana. Then it moves on to, cocaine and ecstasy and MDMA and Special K. Start gambling, start with the porn and the strip clubs. And it's just this, over 10 years, it's really there's another thing I did that I said I would never do.
Sure,
there's
you're just
one more thing.
piling vices on your shoulders.
Right.
So you get a nice big caravan.
Well, let me back up. So then there's this moment where I'm working at a club. A new club opens up 2 blocks away called Lotus, and the 4 owners were on New York Magazine. And this was going to be the hottest models and bottles. It was a supper club, it was 2 levels. There was a mezzanine. There was a VIP room with a locked key code. And someone dared me. They said, oh, you're this, you've got a successful R&B night, and that's great, but you could never do this thing. So I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So I start calling the owners, cold calling the owners, leaving 15, 20 voicemails on the club, just by extension, right? Like for number 1, Jeffrey Jaw. For number 2, David Ray. Just list the going through the telephone tree. And finally, one of the owners calls me back and says, hey, listen, just because you're promoting that thing doesn't mean you're going to be any good at doing this thing. But I'll give you Monday night. I'll pay $150. Monday was the slowest night. So I'm still keeping the R&B thing going, and I start on Mondays, and I fall in love with, it's just totally different. It's fashion, it's music. We're throwing parties for Vogue. It was celebrities. Jim Carrey's in the club.
Right.
Denzel's in the club. Puffy's in the club. Jay-Z's in the club. It's, it was something altogether different.
And so you are technically the promoter of that Monday night, correct?
I had to bring some beautiful people.
Did they give you a percentage of the whole take for Monday?
Not at that point.
Oh, okay.
Later, I had to graduate to
I'm
that.
a greedy little piggy, and I like knowing about money. So
I'll tell you exactly how it works.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was just, hey, bring a few people. A year later, I was getting 15% of the night.
Okay.
And
can
a better
you trust
night,
those
and a
guys?
Thursday night. Oh, you're looking at the take. You're doing your best.
Right.
You're getting printouts at the end of the night, and you're going home. No, you can't trust anyone to act.
Yeah, there's no way you're getting 15% of 100%.
Everybody's
right?
screwing everybody.
Yes.
So I come in on the worst night, getting paid $150 flat to see if I'm any good. I partner with the doorman, who's just making, I don't know, probably $150 just to stand out in the cold.
Sure.
And we say,
hopefully get laid
let's
at the end
go
of the
do,
night.
let's go do. So we start a karaoke night. We start a celebrity karaoke night.
Okay.
While he's still working at Lotus, while I'm still doing the Monday, we start doing a Tuesday at a lounge called Halo. And this thing starts blowing up. And we're charging a cover. So we wanted the cash.
Yeah.
So we turned that into a really successful thing. And then we go back to Lotus with a Thursday night, which was kind of a marquee night. So all that to say, so then I wound up working at 40 nightclubs.
Okay, now let me tell you my personal experience with this, because this is a New York thing. It doesn't so much exist in LA, or at least not on the level. So when I first was on TV, I don't know how one of these guys found me, but they found me when I was in New York. And then anytime I was in New York, this guy would be like, call me. And then I would get taken around. And when he'd pick me up, there'd be drugs, and there would be, everything was taken care of. I had an orgy with this guy. I mean, not with him, but he and his girlfriend and someone else. I mean, It was a crazy, bizarre experience. It just kind of made everything perfect for you because you being there somehow helped their overall thing. And even when I was with that guy in New York, I kept thinking, ooh, this is a rough lifestyle for him. Like, I'm going to go home and I'm going to go to work on a movie set, but this guy's going to do this 7 nights a week or however many nights a week. And I even as a drug addict, I was nervous for this guy, if that makes any sense. So I feel like I have some understanding of what your life was like. And your life exists between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. pretty much.
Dinner
right?
at 10, the club at 12, the after hours at 5.
Right.
Home at noon.
Yeah. And you're doing that for years.
5 nights a week, 6 nights a week. Because the nights you're not working, you're going out, trying to go find new people to bring into the fold.
Right. And you're making a lot of money?
Couple $100,000 a year, but you're living like millionaires.
Sure, because everywhere you
everybody
go,
else pays.
the only thing you do is free.
Other people's planes, other people's dinner. You know, you're the one walking around with the drink tickets.
Yeah.
You know, one of our guys, right, would sit at our table, go buy $10,000 of Cristal. That we're then handing out or spraying.
Yeah.
So
And you're drinking some, but even more importantly, you're getting 15% of that purchase.
There you go. You know, it was amazing at first,
Yeah.
right? And we're only, you know, for me, like the girls were a huge part of it. We're
absolutely.
only dating the most beautiful girls,
Right.
The scene revolves around guys who have a lot of money who want to be close to models.
Yes, but there was also this very bizarre dynamic, and it even happened in this orgy, which was I met a girl. She was friends with the dude's girlfriend. It was, hey, let's go back to your hotel room. Great. P.S. You can't hook up with my girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. So we're in this scenario, and I am seeing that the girl definitely does want to hook up with me. Like, I'm getting some pretty obvious signals.
You're on TV or on the
Exactly.
movie
So
star,
then there's
right?
this other layer where I kept thinking, because I'm just innately a codependent person, I was thinking, wow, this guy's almost got the thing. This bullshit fake artifice of celebrity and all that entails. And he's so close because he's in contact. You know, when I'm out there, he's with other people that are probably much more famous than me. And now he has a girlfriend who's attracted to him because he has access to that. But yet he is not that thing. So
Right.
I have to imagine just the juggling of all that is weird. It's like you're in that club, but at the same time, you're not the marquee thing of that club.
You're not even the owner.
It's just there's so much just status on your mind 24/7, right?
Yeah. And the conversations.
Did it make you resent the girls you were with, like in any weird way? Like, even though you knew you were guilty of it and everyone in the whole scene is complacent in this weird feeding frenzy for status, and you want to partake in the fruits of that, but at the same time, you're maybe even judgmental of someone that's doing the same thing you're doing. It's all very complicated, isn't it?
It is. And most of the relationships are shallow. You know, look, it gets really boring. You're having the same banal conversations over and over again. You're shouting over a DJ, right? It's the most trivial. So you can't hear. There's no substance. There's no depth to any of it. I had a moment once where, you know, I'd been up all night and I was probably trying to take Ambien to come down off of ecstasy. And I was on Houston Street crashing at my business partner's place on his couch. And, you know, what we would do to block out the light, we get really good at using comforters wherever we are. We could be in the Hamptons. We could be, right? You gotta somehow, you know, make the shades.
Yeah.
You gotta make your own darkness.
Yes.
Okay, at noon.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do this and, you know, somehow, you know, tape up. And of course the comforters are heavy. So this is actually not an easy thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like duct tape doesn't really work. You're not going to walk around with a hammer and nails.
Right.
So it's often a frustrating, floppy, sloppy, you know, comforters are falling and it's half. So I remember just looking out the window on Houston Street and people were on their lunch break.
Yeah.
Dax.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm trying to take an Ambien to come down
Yes.
from a disgusting night out and some horrible East Village after hours where I was doing the cheapest Coke possible.
Yeah.
You know, in some bathroom, like,
You're with dudes you don't want to be with, but
and just looking, you know, and it's not like I'm a surgeon on night duty, right?
right.
It's not an admirable night shift, okay?
Yeah, you're
This
not a
is like-
firefighter that just fought all night.
So there was a lot of self-loathing. I just remember
Yeah.
this, wow, what have I done with my life?
My thing was I often did coke with this gal that lived on San Vicente here in LA, and I would always be leaving her house at like 10 in the morning. I just watch guys jogging in the median on Saturday morning. I just would look at them like, oh my God, they have the best day ahead of them. And this sunshine is my enemy right now. This whole thing, this whole outside world is my enemy. Something's wrong.
Yep.
Okay, so suffice to say, the result of this 10-year experiment is you're feeling a little morally bankrupt at the end of this, yeah, or just
and my body goes numb. Half my body goes numb.
Oh, it physically goes
10
numb.
years in, I can't feel the left side of my body.
Really? But you can move it all. You don't have paralysis.
Nope. So I remember specifically putting my hand under boiling hot water. Can't feel it.
Great.
So as one might, I go start visiting neurologists, and I get the MRIs, the CT scans. They attach sensors to my arms. Nothing is wrong with me. And my partner's like, and I'm a degenerate smoker. I'm doing 60 Marlboro Reds a day.
Yuck.
I wake up at like 3 a.m. I was so happy I was awake that I could have a cigarette, on the way to the bathroom. So I'm living.
It's rare I get someone in here that's been in the exact same trenches as me. It's really I'm the spring in my step. Okay, continue.
So health problems, but not diagnosed.
And you're what, 29?
I'm 28.
28, okay.
So, my parents, let me just kind of catch you up. So for 10 years, my poor parents, like I have lived out, you familiar with the prodigal son story?
Yeah.
Okay, I have lived out this parable that they grew up with. I mean, I basically said, F you, mom and dad. F you, church.
Kind of the Sid Arthur trajectory as well.
Okay. After the money's gone, the prostitutes, all that, I wind up in the pigsty and I realize it. So my parents have been praying, what have we done wrong? Like, bring the prodigal home, bring the rebel home.
Yeah.
And around this time that I go numb, so this is, let's call it September, October, go home for Christmas. And I'm a bad son through this 10 years. I remember calling my dad from Paris during Fashion Week. I've been up for 2 days, and I'm just bragging about it.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, just delighting. But I would still go home. I still had a relationship.
Yeah.
I'd go home 6-7 times a year, 8 times a year. I would just rub it in. I'd bring various girlfriends home, and look, Dad, how hot my girl. Look how hot this one is. Always just hoping to impress them.
I bet some of them were hard to get pure to get in that house.
Well, they
they
all signed up.
Thinking of all the perfume
okay, the hair and makeup. So I go home for Christmas. My dad gives me this book of deep theology, Christian theology, called The Pursuit of God, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. He'd tried everything over the years, and it was. I just remember something was different. I had the health issues. I'm still partying, but I start reading this book with this deep theology, and it was basically a pursuit of God, of virtue, of morality. It was someone trying to live the cleanest life possible, know God, and serve others. And it was really compelling to me. It felt like home. It felt like the opposite of my life. It felt like the thing that I had abandoned. And
can I just also ask you? You are at that moment, you are in possession of everything that was promised to deliver happiness. So like if beautiful girls find you attractive and you find yourself in a beautiful vacation home and you can be on a yacht and you can drink expensive shit, those are all the signature hallmarks of happiness, right? And is it helpful to have all those to recognize how false they are?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a privileged position to get into where you can
just
find out, it's none of this stuff.
Yeah,
I feel miserable.
Yeah, and there were richer people, right? There was always someone with more.
Sure.
And they didn't look happy. It was really a moment, it was a cathartic week or 10 days where, there's different ways of saying it. It's like the veil was lifted, or I saw things for what they were. It was like the game of musical chairs where the music stops, and the first time in my life, I have nowhere to sit down. Like it was a disruption. And, I wasn't in love with my girlfriend. I never had been. And I just realized like there would never be enough. Someone would always have more. and this endless pursuit. And I also realized that I had actually betrayed the virtue, the spirituality, the morality that I've been brought up with. So that I was living in opposite, and I wanted to find my way back. I really did.
Yeah. Now, here's where your story to me gets suspicious as a cynic.
Okay.
Did you ever see Grizzly Man, the Timothy Treadwell documentary?
I did, yeah.
So I made 2 huge predictions about that movie about 10 minutes in. I'm so proud of myself. Watch me pat myself on the back. Okay. One of the things I leaned over and told my girlfriend was this guy 100% has some show business in his background. And then we come to find out he had pursued stardom. My other thing was this guy's an addict. Because I have so many times witnessed people try to do crazy erratic things, geographical cures, directional cures, something very extreme instead of dealing with their addiction or dealing with the whole. So they're going to do something spectacular, but in another direction. But it's still going to be spectacular. So Timothy Treadwell is going to go fucking communicate with grizzly bears, Kodiaks on an island. It's got to be that extreme to replace the heightened egomaniacal rush of being an addict. So I'm always a little suspicious when people have cures for things that are ultimately still on the outside. They're still going to regulate what's going on the inside with something on the outside. So when this part of your story, when I know that now you join a charity that's abroad on a ship helping kids who need, which obviously is a wonderful thing to commit yourself to. But the part of me, the bullshit addict meter in me goes, well, this was just another grandiose gesture. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Okay, well, so the middle maybe makes a little more sense. So the next 6 months is me coming back with a heart change, actually trying to go to church again and not liking any of them, not finding that fit, and trying to, I quit drugs for 4 months until I slip up.
Right.
And I go from 3 packs a day to 1 pack. And then there's a week where I don't smoke, but then I fall. Right. So it's just this and I actually don't ever think I was an addict. Okay. So I would do something out of boredom and then never do it again. Okay. Most of these things were I was looking for something, but I would never call myself, I would do Coke for 4 years and then just say, oh, I'm done with Coke. I'm going to do X instead. Or,
so you could likely not have the genetic makeup of an addict per se, but most certainly you have the behavioral pattern of someone who's trying to regulate the internal feeling with the external shit. Yeah. And even if you don't have the gene, that can become a pattern that becomes very hard to break because you no longer have any tools, right? Yeah. What else are you regulating? There's nothing you're really doing that gives you legitimate self-esteem. So you're kind of toolless in search of some self-esteem and some contentment. For you, it's God, it sounds like.
So it's 6 months during this period, and I remember specifically praying, God, you got to show me a way out of this, okay? But I don't know what else to do, because you don't, at 28 years old, become a doctor or a lawyer. Right. What job could possibly pay me what I'm making in nightlife that I just jump over? And I had a lifestyle. I had to pay my rent. One night, place called Bungalow 8.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And
Harvey Weinstein famously jerked off in a bush there, I think we read.
Was that where?
I think that's where it happened.
Oh, wow.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
Really?
that was one of his many.
Kind of wish I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. I know, it kind of tainted my memories of Bungalow 8, too, because I know the exact bushes they're referring to. As you walk to the bathroom, there's those potted. Okay, continue.
I bet he wasn't the first one.
Well, I was at Bungalow 8. From my memory, I was not on the wagon that night. I was drinking, might have been doing something. I come out of the bathroom and I see a bouncer kind of harassing my friend. And I get in the bouncer's face and say, I know Amy Sacco, and you picked the wrong guy. I'm defending the honor. And I remember going drunkenly, stumbling outside and calling Amy, the owner, and leaving a voicemail for her. It's probably 3 a.m. Yeah. And telling her what happened and, telling on this guy.
Sure. You're probably one of 9 voicemails that
90
evening.
potentially,
Yes,
right? I can't
people
get
big
in,
timing
can't
it.
get in.
Yeah.
So the next night, I don't think anything of this. I go, I'm at promoting another party. It's a Saturday night, and I leave. I normally left that club at 3. I leave at 2:50. I get a text from my doorman saying, "Hey, that guy, the bouncer from last night, just turned up with a gun, looking for you."
No
Lost his
kidding.
job.
Oh,
He got fired.
Oh, boy.
So he's like, you know, you may just want to like let this cool down.
Sure.
So I remember going to my girlfriend's house that night down in Little Italy and telling her what happened. And I call my business partner and say, look, I'm going to get out of town for a couple of weeks and just let this blow over. Now, I'll say I've had my life threatened 40 times at this point. You know, you work the door, you work any party, you don't let people in, and they threaten
ego
to kill
bruised
you.
guy is. Yeah.
They threaten to kill you in front of their girl, in front of their guy friends. Yeah, I'm going to drive back. You're not even going to know it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be in a car, and like you're going to be lying on the pool of blood next to your door, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, this is something that we're familiar with, but this felt a little edgy. So I rent a cobalt blue Ford Mustang from Newark Airport, and I'm just going to go north. Right, like this is going to be a little mini vacation. It just starts to dawn on me the farther I get from New York City, that like, what if I never went back? What if I never went back? And you just start asking these questions. I remember in Maine, I watched Obama give the famous kind of hope speech as a senator. The Red Sox were playing. Like I just remember kind of this whole time. And I was listening to the Bible on audio tape. I'm still drinking and smoking. So this is just, there's maybe like this tension of in and out, in and out, in and out. And I ask myself this pretty clear question, which might even fall into your narrative. What's the opposite? What's the extreme opposite of my life look like? What would a 180 degree change look like? Not a pivot, not 20 or 45 or 90 degrees.
Yeah.
What's the, like, what is the do-over?
Yeah.
And
in the program, they call this contrary action. What would be the opposite
and
thing?
in the prodigal son story, right? He says, I want to go home. I'd rather be a servant in my father's house. And in that story, he goes all the way from the prostitutes and the pig pen, comes home. His father welcomes him back home, puts the new robe on him, throws him a party, right? So you have this kind of opposite picture. So my idea for opposite is to, are you familiar with the concept of tithing, like to give 10%?
Yeah.
Okay. So I get the idea that I'm going to tithe 10% of my decade, my selfish decade.
Oh, okay.
One of the 10 years.
That's basically 100% of one of your years.
There you go.
Yeah.
Back to God and the poor. Okay. The poor, like in quotes. I have no idea
Sure,
what
you
this
don't even know what you're talking about, but
means.
yeah.
So, Dak, I'm in Maine at this point. Dial-up internet cafe, Greenville, Maine, Dell computers, and I start filling out applications to volunteer at all of the humanitarian organizations I have vaguely heard of over the years, never given to.
Right.
Red Cross, Salvation Army, World Vision, Save the Children. This would only work if it felt like it would be one of the poorest countries in the world.
Yes.
Okay, a radical departure. And the denial letters come in. So no one will take me. I'm turned down by all these organizations. And one day...
Good. That means their screening's working. You have no business representing any of these people with the last 10 years you put in. Yeah.
On resume, I mean, how could a nightclub promoter be useful to any credible organization doing, humanitarian work in like Darfur, right? Like what am I? One day I'm riding my bike, my phone rings, a little Nokia phone, and I pick it up and it's this group, Mercy Ships. And they're calling to say that they've gotten my application, they're looking at it, and they'd be willing to meet me. And I convinced the bosses, the two bosses of the communications department, that I truly was qualified for the job. I was a storyteller. I was a promoter. That I had a change of heart, and that I wasn't going to throw wild parties on the ship and corrupt any of the nice Christian humanitarians. Yeah. And I think one of the things in nightlife, I'm a host. So I hosted people. I was an includer. I would look for people that were left out, and I would try to bring them into the fold. So, I was good at getting people to like me.
Right, sure.
And that's what promoters had to do.
That was
so
your job.
I win them over.
That was your product.
And I said, well, I'm ready to start. And they said, well, the mission starts in 3 weeks. Can he turn up and report for duty in 3 weeks?
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Now, the beauty of this organization was that I would have to pay them $500 a month to volunteer. In the
Quite a
search for
system.
opposites, right, sailing into Liberia, Benin in Liberia, West Africa, on a humanitarian hospital ship full of doctors and surgeons and paying $500 a month. I mean, this was it. This was perfect.
Right. It was the dead opposite. Now I'm gonna fast forward you because in the name of time, because I want to get to your charity. But you do this for how long? How long are you on this show? 2 years, and you witness incredible things. And I'm imagining your sense of self is improving dramatically.
Yeah, and I quit everything. So I have a sense of cold turkey. The night before I embark on the ship and walk up the gangway and surrender my passport. I go out with a bang. I smoke 3 packs of cigarettes. I have 8 beers, and then I go cold turkey. So I never smoke again. I never touch coke, any of that stuff again. I never gamble again. I don't look at a pornographic image for 15 years. Like I quit it all. I drink a little bit. I like wine and beer, but
okay. You can also maybe
walk away
look at
from it.
some porn like once a month.
I walk
or
away
something.
from it. Now
Can you not do it moderately? Is that, or you think there's an ethical dilemma about pornography? You can be honest.
For me, I mean,
For you, it's not
living kind of the virtuous life that I was trying to step into. Like
You didn't feel better after watching it. You felt worse.
Definitely not. But my community changed. So my community was now a group of doctors who are saving the world.
Yeah.
Who instead of being in the Maldives or the Caribbean were operating for
Well,
free.
the thing that's getting you status in that world is so much different than the thing that was getting you status in the other world.
So I do 2 years there on the ship, and I discover that people are drinking dirty water, and that's the reason why so many of them are sick. That's the reason why half the people in the country are sick.
Right. You kind of take the ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure approach, right? Which is, well, if these people had clean drinking water, we wouldn't be seeing them on this ship.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so how do you go from going, okay, this is the cause I'm now interested in, and how do I go about starting an NGO? Do you have a mentor? Do you have someone that is advising you? So do you also think, well, I still do have this crazy Rolodex. Maybe that thing is going to somehow come into play and help?
Yeah, so I hit the Rolodex day one. So I'd built up a list of 15,000 people. They'd worked in fashion or finance at Goldman Sachs or, in music, entertainment. So they went from getting invited to, I don't know, Perry Farrell DJing something to pictures of leprosy. What I was experiencing, facial tumors, dirty water.
Yeah.
So obviously some people unsubscribe.
Yeah, sure.
The list gets a little smaller. But I was blown away that people said, this is amazing. How do I do what you're doing? Like I'm sitting here at Chanel feeling like my life has no meaning. And you're with this group of amazing people. How do I give money to support this cause? How do I do something like this with my life? So I was shocked that people cared. And the same gift of promoting.
Yeah, because your assumption can't be that everyone's at the same bottom you were at when you decided to do that.
No, I was I was running around saying, look at these doctors, they're giving blind people sight by removing cataracts. And, this kid had a 6-pound tumor. He was suffocating to death on his face. And this doctor took it out. And now he's
40-minute surgery.
He's fine. So I've got that whole thing for 2 years. So I'm blasting my list. In the interim, I do a year. I come back. I throw an exhibition of my photos in Chelsea, New York. Raise $100,000, $96,000. Give it all to Mercy Ships, and then follow the money. So a couple of these things are developing. One, I'm realizing that I'm once a promoter, always a promoter. But I can promote something that actually means something. Get people to give money and care. Two, the photos really matter. That people responded to the visuals. It was one thing to say it, and it was another to show them.
Yeah.
So I'm blowing up photos 10 foot tall of what people are seeing. And then third, I've got my issue. Water is the thing. If I really cared about health, if I really cared about sickness, then I would go to the root cause of so much of this sickness, and I would start with water. And at the time, 1 billion people on the planet didn't have clean water. 1 out of every 6 people. So I come back to New York City. I'm broke. So now I'm 30, broke, done 2 years with Mercy Ships. My friends think I'm no fun because I'm not doing coke and I'm not partying, and I'm actually dragging my laptop to nightclubs to show them photos from Africa. Okay, so I'm getting thrown out of DJ booths.
That's the last thing I
They're
want
like,
to bump
dude, you
into.
are killing my buzz. Okay, maybe I'll give to your charity, but not at 3 a.m. Okay,
If I'm watching someone floss with a fat ass and I gotta now look over at your thing, I'm
this
bummed.
thing out.
Yeah.
So
Get it out of here.
But I was given 15 presentations a day. I mean, there was I was so passionate about.
You're very tenacious. This is one of your defining characteristics. You're very tenacious.
And there was a responsibility to do something about what I'd seen.
Mm-hmm.
So as I talk to my friends, I have the unique advantage of being incredible, if that's the word, like not a credible charity founder.
Yes.
I'm just this normal guy who's 30, who's talking to normal people who work at MTV and at Chanel and at Goldman Sachs. Yeah. And I've had this life-changing experience for 2 years. So I've actually lived in post-war Liberia for over a year. I mean, I put in the time. This wasn't a mission trip for a week where I painted the orphanage the 6 color, that year. Yeah. I spent time in a leprosy colony. I rode around the country. I flew on Army helicopters. I'd really seen and put in the time. I'd written 50 stories. I'd taken 50,000 photographs. Mm-hmm. So there was this eyewitness power of having done it and having seen it and understood
you had the
issue.
credibility.
I had the credibility.
Yeah.
So I have this huge realization. So my old partner is still doing the clubs on his own, takes me in, lets me live on the closet floor at 109 Spring Street in Soho, Spring and Mercer, and says, well, you can crash here, my walk-in closet floor, and you can use my couch as your office for your charity. I find out he never dissolved our company nor paid our taxes. So now I'm $30,000 in debt.
Perfect.
And I'm about to apply for a 501c3, okay, with unpaid taxes.
Yeah. So
I hire an accountant, go on a payment plan with the IRS, start this paperwork because I'm going to do, my charity is going to give everybody in the world clean water.
Yeah.
I have a very clear, I can see it. Mm-hmm. As I talk to my friends, I realize they are cynics and they are skeptical and people don't trust charities. Mm-hmm. I come across a USA Today poll that finds 42% of Americans actually say they don't trust charities. Mm-hmm. And then
there's a ton of terrible ones.
And everybody has a
horror
horror
story. 5
story.
cents on the dollar.
Everyone has a horror story they can pull out of their back pocket for the CEOs making millions of dollars who hired their cousins and nephews and nieces. And Anderson Cooper used to do those shows where he'd turn up in the McMansion, right? And the CEO would slam the door and he's left on the porch.
Yeah.
And America throws up their hands and says, that crook, that's what I don't give.
I'm going to add a layer to it too. It's weirdly triggering because I can be floating through life feeling fine, like I was nice to everyone I interacted with that day. And then I meet you and I go, well, fuck, I'm not going out of my way to help another person. So just the knowledge of you, I now feel shitty about myself.
Well, that's not...
I mean, I'm just telling you, I think that's a human...
You're saying that's why people are a little bit allergic to charity.
Yeah, I'll keep it personal. Yeah,
making it personal was uncomfortable.
Okay, well, it's even like when someone hears someone on TV talking about their healthy diet, they don't hear that person's just enjoying their healthy diet. They hear you're unhealthy and you're living terribly. And now all of a sudden I feel judged and I feel all these things because I'm just a human. I mean, there's no logic behind it. But like Californians' lifestyle and diet is very triggering to the rest of the country, and I'm sympathetic to it. I was in the Midwest having that feeling like, all right, great. Well, we're not all perfect like you. It's just a weird knee-jerk thing that a lot of us suffer from.
And this is how most charities have peddled their wares using guilt and shame. Mm-hmm. Okay, this started with the Sally Struthers commercials, maybe.
Yes.
The 80s and 90s, those kids in Africa,
Ethiopia.
The flies landing on their face in slow motion. They lock sad eyes with the camera. The 800 number stripes across the screen.
Yeah.
And you give, but you feel disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay. You feel
shamed into
shameful.
it. Yeah.
So I'm just realizing that this is how charities function. My friends aren't giving; they're cynical, and I'm like, well, what would the perfect charity look like? So imagine I'd run into you and said, Dax, well, what would make you want to give? Okay. Well, one of the things you might say is, well, I'd want to know exactly where my money goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'd actually want to know, like, what did it do? Did it actually do anything? Like, if I gave you $100 or, $100,000, like, did it affect any change? Right? I'd want to see where it goes. And maybe I'd want to feel like I was a part of something cool, or this wasn't.
I'm going to add a third layer, though, and this is the part of me that has an anthropology degree. I say that nonstop. Everyone makes fun of me. But there have been so many well-intentioned projects in Africa that have backfired so catastrophically. But there's also a part of me, so I can even deal with yours specifically. When Kristen first told me, I'm going to do this thing for my birthday and I'm going to go build a well and blah, 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 I immediately went, if you guys don't go there and build a well, the people will probably move to the place that has water. So you're maybe potentially preventing what would have naturally happened. And now you're getting people just stuck at this permanent well when maybe they should have migrated somewhere else. Now, let me tell you how I came out on the other side of that. And this was only recently. I thought, okay, what if that was the solution to there's no more water in LA? And I should just move to fucking Santa Clarita.
But you don't own land in Santa Clarita. This is your land. This is your house.
I know. When I personalize it and I use,
Yep.
that's when the limits of empathy are what you're up against at all times. It's just very, people have a limited capacity for empathy. Now, some have more, some have less. Kristen has an abundance of it. I seem to have less for whatever reason, because I'm a terrible person. But at any rate, when I personalize the notion that anyone in this country would have to pick up an entire town and move it to go follow the water, I would go, no, we should solve how to get the water to where everyone already lives. So but that requires me to work it all out in my head, because my first thought is, it's just more white people going to Africa deciding how they should do it or solve that problem. And there's going to be all these unintended consequences that no one's even thought of downriver.
So we try to fix all these things. So I actually tried to design a charity for you.
Okay, great.
You
I
were the
appreciate
demographic.
it.
Okay, so here's what we did. So the first thing said we're going to give away 100% of all donations without exception directly to the projects. I'm going to open up 2 separate bank accounts, different numbers, audited separately. All the overhead, the staff salaries,
events.
It
costs money to raise money, right? People don't get that.
Office costs, the toner for the Epson copier.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all going to be raised separately. I don't know how we would do that, but it wouldn't be your money.
Right.
You skeptical, cynical
piece of
Dax.
shit. Yeah.
Okay, your money, whether you gave $1 or $100, would go directly to help people get clean water. That was number one. Number two was we were going to use technology available in this really exciting age of new technology to prove where your $100 went. Okay, so I met the founder of Google Earth in the minute I started, and I realized Google Earth and Google Maps, they were giving us a free place where we could prove every water point via satellite image to the cynical Daxes of the world. So every one of Kristen's birthday wells, she was 30, so this is what, 6 years ago?
8
years ago.
Yeah, she's old as fuck.
There, you can see satellite images of every single one. Okay. And you could have for the last 8 years. So you, cynical guy, could go to Best Buy, grab a GPS device, turn up in Ethiopia, and go visit 10 of them.
Is there a picture of her on the wells from the movie Burlesque in her black wig?
There's not.
Okay.
You'll be disappointed. The second is this proof pillar. So if I could tell Dax, show him, so not tell, show you the thing that we built, let's say it's a well, let's say it's a spring, let's say it's a rainwater harvesting system, where 100% of your money went, you might say, actually, but maybe a little less cynical. The third big idea was to build a completely different brand. So I just want to use an example of imagine if Nike used guilt and shame to get people to work out, okay? Imagine if Nike said, America, you are fat and lazy.
Yeah.
Why don't you turn off the TV? Why don't you put that junk food away and go run?
Yeah, you piece of shit.
Yeah, and wear our clothes and our shoes.
See, I kind of would probably go buy it. I'd go, they're telling
you'd never
the
wear
truth.
You'd never wear that
No, you're
symbol.
right. You're right.
You would never. So that's not what they do. They tell stories of
hope.
The Tillmans. They tell stories of people overcoming adversity against the odds. Nike
Show
believes
a guy with one leg running in New York City.
Exactly. You don't have an arm, you can win the shot put competition. Like Nike believes there's greatness within you.
Yeah.
You have a higher capacity for greatness and achievement than you ever thought. And then you're like, maybe I'll turn the TV off. maybe I'll try and run half a mile.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll run a mile. And I want to wear the symbol of someone that believes that about me, that believes there's greatness. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So all of the great brands don't market like charities.
Right.
Apple, Think Different campaign. I give you example after example.
Yeah.
So the third pillar was I was going to
Your
promote
way
this
right
thing
away.
in a very different way. I was going to make it was a party.
You don't leave a lot of room for my jokes, Scott. I just want
Sorry,
to point
Jax.
that out. I know your freight train has left the station, and it's a really well-run freight train. But your way
just
right
can't
away.
take it. You
No,
can't
I
take it.
gotta get it in there. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I fucked you up. Sorry.
I
But
don't know where I
no
was.
brands,
Yeah,
brands.
We were going to just make it fun. I actually looked at this like we're throwing parties. We're throwing parties where people get clean water in these villages. And Charity Water's first. Oh, and then the probably the most important thing was we wouldn't send white people that look like me over to Africa
Yeah.
to actually drill the wells.
That's a good idea.
So all the work had to be led by the locals. So I
that's
just
great.
believed for it to be either culturally appropriate or sustainable, it's Ethiopians in Ethiopia doing all that work.
Yes.
So all of Kristen's wells were managed by a team of 350 locals.
Yeah.
Who were
that gives them the ownership over it, so that they will then be vested.
and they get the credit.
right. Yeah.
and
they get
the-
the status and the prestige and the pats on the back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I put those things together, give away 100%, prove it, build a cool brand that valued design and made it aspirational and fun. Like
Yeah.
invite you to be a part of something amazing,
And
not
it's-
because you have to, but because you want to.
You're
Even though
missing the
we're-
party if you don't.
You're missing the party, and you don't want to miss the party. This is the party where the whole world's getting clean drinking water.
And it's proven hugely successful. This is a very, very successful charity, right? Do you have numbers on how many
we raised-
people are now drinking fresh water as a result of this?
We've raised about $330 million
Jesus, Jonathan.
from over 1 million people in 100 countries, and that's allowed us to help 29,000 villages get clean water and 8.5 million people.
Wow,
That's
8.5 million. And now, is this a model that you feel like is franchisable,
I'm
or it would need your full dedication and passion?
no, sorry. The hesitation comes there because the 100% model is incredibly challenging.
Yeah, how do you
can't-
raise the money for the administrative?
So there are lots of stories of almost insolvency and craziness along the way. We've never borrowed a single penny
Yeah.
from public donations. The way we do it, 131 families. Kristen actually was one of those families years ago. So 131 families. It's been the founders of Twitter, Spotify, senior execs at Apple, entrepreneurs, actors. They fund the 80 staff, the office, the flights, the overhead, the salaries.
Right.
131 people pay the unsexy costs so that 1 million donors, cynics,
Yeah.
skeptics, get the pure play.
Oh, that's nice. And my wife's one of those people?
She was.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
So those, and we treat them like investors, and they come in, they get to know the staff. They love giving to the Epson toner.
Yeah.
They actually, because they're making it possible. They trust.
Right.
So it requires a lot of trust to give in that way.
Well, bizarrely, that investment, if you can sell it as such, is every dollar you give can raise 10. Or I don't know what the ratio
Yeah.
is, but there is a
There's a
ratio
leverage,
there
for sure.
where it's an even better investment on your dollar.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So it worked, and at our first party.
Well, why isn't it franchisable? Because of that, that aspect of
No,
it?
people are doing it. People are taking the Charity Water model and doing it in health. They're doing it in
But
shelter.
you personally, you're sticking with water. You're not going on to.
So we've solved one. Okay, so now there's 663 million people without water. So over the last 12 years, we've gone from 1 billion without to 663. So that's progress.
Sure.
Moving in the right direction, even as populations increased. One of the problems is almost everyone that got access to clean water got access in the cities and the towns. The rural people got left behind.
Right.
So now 82% of the people on Earth that don't have water live in the remote rural areas. So the harder work is kind of starts now.
Yeah.
So our 8.4 out of that is 1/78th of the problem solved.
Right.
So how dare I start something new now with 12 years of expertise and
No,
knowledge?
you're slowly eroding me, and you're cracking my
1%.
Like I'm like the Grinch right now. My heart has grown 1.5 times, not 3 yet. But yeah, the fact I am glad you're not jumping ship and trying to now start up 15 different things that use your
I think the
successful
focus
model.
is important.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story of I think what's been so the movement has really been powered by cynics. So at the day one of Charity Water 12 years ago, I actually threw a party in a nightclub because I had no better ideas. So I went to 10 June. It was a place in the meatpacking district before they opened. The owners donated the club. And this time, people came in. They had to donate $20 and put it in a big plexi box. Mm-hmm. And they walked past photos of people drinking dirty water. Mm-hmm. And then people drinking clean water at the end. And we raised $15,000 that night. And I'll never forget that a guy I knew from clubs who sold drugs, he was a weed dealer, gave $500. And he said it was the first charitable gift he'd made in his life. Mm-hmm. It's in his 30s. And I knew we were onto something. Not that that was our demographic, like that's not the donor. Yeah. But wow, I took one of the most cynical people I knew who said, wow, if I know that all this money's going. So we took the $15,000 that night. Mm-hmm. We rushed it to northern Uganda, found a local partner, did a few water projects, 6 rehabs where we took old broken wells and fixed them again. And then we sent the photos, the GPS, and video back to the 700 people that came to the party. Mm-hmm. Closed the loop. And I just remember the feedback. People were blown away that we told them where the money went.
Yeah.
They could see the impact of $20 coming together as a collective.
Yeah.
And we tried to build that feedback loop into everything the organization did, and still does today. Yeah. And one of the cool things is we stumbled upon this idea of getting people to donate their birthdays to Charity Water.
Yeah, that was a very inventive.
And that's what, we basically said, look, Kristen probably has everything she needs. Right? I mean, actually needs. Yeah. 1/10 of the world doesn't have clean water. Mm-hmm. So what if she could turn her birthday into a redemptive giving moment that involves friends and family in something great where you can actually see the results of where the money goes? So, the stories have been incredible. 6-year-old kids, 89-year-olds donating their birthdays. There was this 9-year-old girl in Seattle, and I'm going to try and just open up your heart a little more now. Okay. 1.5, come on. I got to get you to 2 before we end. 9-year-old girl hears me speak about water and talk about these kids, and she cancels her 9th birthday party and says she is going to give up her gifts, skip her party, and ask for $9 donations. Mm-hmm. And she wants to raise $300. Okay. And she raises $220. So she falls short. She tells her mom, says, look, I'm going to try harder next year. And you've got, like, you understand, kids are they get this, like the kids get this because it's not fair. Mm-hmm. Why are these kids not drinking dirty? Why are they not drinking clean water? Yeah. So right after her birthday, she's killed in a car crash. There's a 20-car pileup on the highway in Seattle. A tractor trailer jackknifes, loses control. Oof. She's the only fatality. Mm. So I'm in the Central African Republic at the time, and I land in New York and turn on my phone, my BlackBerry at the time, and I get a message from the pastor of her church saying, this little girl in my church died. She had just done a birthday campaign for you. The family wants to reopen this campaign in memoriam of Rachel. And he said, I'm going to get everybody in my church to donate $9. So we do. And I remember sitting with my wife making that $80 donation just to get her to $300. Mm-hmm. And then in the hours following, it just starts to explode. It starts spreading through the Seattle community, through the country, starts spreading to Europe. The story of this little 9-year-old girl who gave up her birthday, canceled it, and wanted kids she'd never met across an ocean to get clean drinking water. Mm-hmm. 31,000 people give, over $1.3 million.
Wow.
I like that.
On the 1-year anniversary of her death, I got to take her mom, she had a single mom, and her grandparents to Ethiopia, village to village to village, to meet thousands of the kids who had clean water through that campaign.
Oh my God.
That's lovely.
Even more amazing, years later, we looked at what those 31,000 strangers did. And so many of them were compelled to follow this 9-year-old girl's lead and donate their birthdays. They raised another $2 million. So she'd helped over 100,000 people get clean water.
Wow.
Realizing 11 while she was alive. So that's what Charity Water's been. I mean, and I have story after, there was a little girl this year that sent in $8.15. She was 6. She sent it in her allowance, and she drew a picture of her standing next to what she thought a well looked like in Africa. And her note said, I'm sending this money so people stop dying in bad water. So, the million people, it's been this unbelievable community of people rejecting the skepticism, or maybe rejecting the apathy that would be so easy to embrace with a global issue like this, and saying I could do something. I could
overwhelming.
I could raise $300 and help a few people.
Here's what I'm doing right now. I have my backpack on my counter, on my desk. I have 2 checkbooks in here, okay? And one is my wife and I's shared account. Now, the easy thing for me to do would be to write a check out of here. But I'm going to write a check out of my own personal account. And I'm going to donate $1,000 to you right now because that story just doubled my heart.
You're at 3?
Yeah, I'm at 3.
Oh, good.
I'm going to write you a check. Now, while I'm writing this check, do I write it to charity water?
Yeah.
I do, just charity water.
Of course.
The words charity and water. I don't know. I know how to spell water.
I wasn't very creative with that one.
I don't know if I know how to spell
it's
charity.
Good that people don't have to think too hard.
Here's a pen. Now, you wrote a book.
I did.
Thirst. Tell us about Thirst while I write this check to you.
Well, it's
Was it your life story that we just heard? Can they not buy the book now?
It's some of that. No, there's a lot more.
Okay, good.
There's a lot more. Gosh, I could have talked to you for hours. I mean, I think it's a little bit of the double entendre of how I tried to find meaning in all the wrong places, and really believe I found it in service to others now. By the way, it's an amazing thing. Like what I get to do. I've been to 69 countries now. I get to travel around the world, inviting people to the party of generosity, of giving. Mm-hmm. Like of giving in a pure way.
Yeah, it feels fucking awesome, right?
Right? And then I've been to Ethiopia 30 times. Like I've been in hundreds of villages that have gotten, I'm there sometimes I was there with Kristen when clean water is shooting out of the ground.
Yeah.
And 1,000 people holding women holding their children are clapping and screaming because a guy like you wrote a check. Yeah, 30 people. Like it's like that. That's actually real to me.
Yeah, it's unbelievable when you open yourself up to that and you actually. The problem is it's so scary because if you acknowledge the problem, it can feel daunting. It can feel overwhelming. It's like it's almost easier to just keep a wall up around the whole thing.
But what about what about another way to look at that?
Please tell me.
What if you were the guy? I mean, it sounds like Kristen already has this reputation. But what if you were the guy that started at a 3, and people doing good work out there in foster care, with the homeless, healthcare, HIV/AIDS, you pick the issue, right? Trafficking. They know that anybody that gets in front of Dax, he's just going to write him a check. Like he's that guy.
We can't let people know that though. We don't want people to know that.
But wouldn't it be cool to be known as the person that and you're encouraging everyone you meet, and maybe it's a $500 check, maybe it's $1,000 check. You're just saying, hey, go and do this good work. In this thing that maybe I don't uniquely care about it, right? Maybe clean water is not specifically your issue.
Right.
But that's encouraging. Thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you for the check. That's 30 people with water. That's real.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
But what if you were the guy that just, like, I believe the more you give, the more you give.
The more you give, the more you give. I believe that.
I believe that.
Yeah, because also, I mean, if you're someone like me, I have my core group of fears. There's like 4 of them that govern almost all my behavior, all my good behavior and all my terrible behavior. And one of those is fear of financial insecurity. So it doesn't matter how much money you give me. I have the fear that I will be penniless. So to give it away is scary. But to your point, as I've been with Kristen and she forces me to give money away, I find that it's not going down. Ironically or counterintuitively, it's going up. Seemingly the more we give away, which is very bonkers, but requires a leap of faith.
I love that. I believe that's true. Let me just offer. You've heard the word giving back.
Yeah.
Giving back. It's in the lexicon of society. I hate the language. I think it's everything that's wrong with giving and the way we approach it. It is language that is steeped in debt and shame and guilt. Giving because you have to.
Yes.
Giving back as if you, Dax Shepard, have pillaged and plundered to such extent, you should finally throw some scraps back.
Totally agree. Like I owe people something.
And there's no joy in that.
No.
That will never bring a smile. But giving because you could write $1,000 check and help 30 people, because it's an opportunity and it's a blessing. And you've been blessed with favor in your career, with health, with talent.
Two beautiful
with
girls.
Two beautiful girls, a beautiful wife. Like, you're giving because you can, and you can improve other people's lives here at home. Now with this check, across an ocean, people that you've never met, or maybe one day you will come and meet them. Like, that's, I want to get people addicted to giving, addicted to opening up their hearts.
It feels to me like younger people are more than my generation was. Is there any data on that, or is that?
Yeah, 55% of our givers to Charity Water are millennials.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A typical, your parents or your grandparents' charities might be 5%.
Right. Well, that's encouraging. There's all these things I want to dislike about millennials.
I know, but I think they've got it kind of figured out for real.
Some of that stuff. I know you'll read a thing that they like, instead of like, buying something, they'd rather have avocado toast, and I kind of think, well, maybe that is, maybe that's the right move anyways.
I have a question. How are you doing this? Like, how are you turning dirty water into clean water? Like,
Sure.
logistically,
I'll
what
take
does
this
that
question.
mean?
I'll take it. There's
No.
there's several different technologies he's employing. There's 6 of them I can think of. He's recapturing rainwater, which is in a lot of areas is the best thing to do. He's drilling water. He's drilling wells. Sometimes those can be dug with a hand. They can be 40 feet down. Sometimes they're 1,000 feet down. And you need to bring in those big rigs. There's some purification systems that can be employed using UV, UF. This is all right?
Yeah.
There's
On the road with
carbon
me.
filtration systems that can be employed. So there's a combination of well drilling, filtration, reclamation. Am I leaving something out?
Is there anything
No, it's
else?
great. And there's about 650 locals now across 17 countries that are working on all those solutions.
Got it.
So we're solution agnostic, about 10 technologies across the portfolio. We have a team of 80 people in New York that is raising the money, that is project managing, that's auditing, that's flying around to make sure the work's being done with high quality, being done on time. And then, we're buying drilling rigs for our partners. We're trying to increase their capacity so they can hire more hydrologists. They can do more in each of the countries that they're working on. So it's sorry, and I also did a terrible job plugging the book.
No, no, you didn't. So, Thurs, here's why you don't need to plug the book: is you're an innately fascinating human being. It took me very long to get to the part I was supposed to interview, which is a testament to how interesting you are. So, I can only imagine your book is that. It's your voice. Yes, you wrote this book.
Yeah, I wrote, and I gave all the advance away and the money. So I'm really hoping that this will inspire people. I'm hoping that the book itself will.
Do you not like money? Do you want money?
I want to give more money away.
You do talking
I actually
engagements.
wanna-
You get paid for those, right?
For 10 years, I gave 100% of all my speaking to Charity Water. So there were years where I was making well more than the salary they were paying me in speaking. Now I'm doing a couple a year through a speaking bureau.
Well, you have a family, right? It's okay
I have
to.
2 young kids now, so that was the change.
Kristen has a saying. I like it, and I can't remember, but it's something like you don't need to starve to help, or something like that. Like people who are judgmental of a lot of these different charities, you need a dynamic CEO. You need a dynamic this or that fundraiser. You get what you pay for. So quite often you'll see some expenses that might trigger you, but in actuality, you couldn't run any successful business without paying for the talent. And that's just, you can't really get around that.
Yeah, but I'm not driven by money. I drive a Kia Sorento. I fly coach. Charity Water's raised $330 million. We have never bought a business class ticket for myself or anyone else. in
We
New York.
fly business to do live shows because Monica's a brat.
I know, but we take stewardship. Like even if this $1,000 was on the other bank account, you don't want that going to a $9,000 ticket to Ethiopia. You want me in coach for $1,250 for 14 hours.
I do.
Because it's 9 trips to Ethiopia or it's one.
You got to walk the walk. It's incredible.
So my greatest ambition, really personally around money, is to be able to give $1 million to one organization once, because someone did it for me, and that story's in the book. Someone basically saved us on the brink of insolvency. There was a moment where in our 2 bank accounts, a year and a half in, we had $881,000 of these checks.
Yeah.
Money I couldn't touch on the way out.
Yeah.
And we had, I think, $111 in the other one. And I was going to shut charity. We were missing payroll. We weren't paying ourselves. I was making $40,000 at the time or something. And the temptation, or I should say, the advice from others, go borrow from the $880,000. Like you got to make payroll. You got to pay your people.
Yeah.
That was 9 months of burn. And at that moment, I was going to shut the whole thing down. I felt like if we took one penny, if we wrote an IOU for $1, we would compromise our integrity. There'd be a crack at the foundation. We should all resign in shame. Mm-hmm. And I was going to cry business model failure. 100% models don't work if you're bootstrapping it. They might work for a rich billionaire, who could endow it or fund it. And at that moment, a complete stranger, my friend Michael, who I started off talking, atheist, thinks that I, pray to a figment of my imagination.
Sure,
right?
sure. I'm with him, but whatever.
Walks in, sits with me at this moment, learns about the vision, learns about the model. He's a cynic too. Mm-hmm. He's British, and he's like, I don't trust charities. I don't give to charities. So he actually liked how clear this was. Mm-hmm. Writes $1 million check in the overhead account.
Oh my God!
So we go from no charity water 11 years ago, and a complete stranger puts a year's worth of gasoline in the tank.
Wow.
That time allowed us to then go find 131 Michaels.
Right.
We needed the time. Yeah. So that's what I want to do. I want to do that for someone else at an early stage. And later, what I've realized about that, it was as much the money that we actually needed practically as someone believed in me. Mm-hmm. Like someone said, keep going.
Yeah.
Don't quit. Like this is too important.
Right.
And that that gave me a confidence. So I want to be able to do that. Not the house in the Hamptons or, I don't want to drive a BMW or a Mercedes.
Where do you live?
We live in a 1,200 square foot apartment in Battery Park City. We love it.
In New York?
New York City, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's been a real pleasure because I've really enjoyed it. I wish you a ton of luck. But Thirst,
yep. It's got so many amazing stories of the community. If people are interested in water, it's not the theory of water. I mean, I'm telling, there's a story in the book about a 13-year-old girl who hung herself because she spilled her water in Ethiopia. And she didn't want to go back for water anymore. And there's stories in the book about women who get clean water for the first time in their life and they feel beautiful. Having traveled around the world, I've never seen men get water. It is culturally the role of the women and the girls.
Yeah.
And if you're a teenage girl and you don't have clean water at your school or toilets, right, you're home 1 week a month. So you know what happens there. You drop out, you fall behind in your studies. There's already enormous pressure against the girls to be educated in so many of these countries. And these women are at risk of rape, hyena attack. They're having their babies by the water holes, right? They're often walking 6 hours a day. And I can't exaggerate that.
Yes.
And it's 7 days a week. So what's shocked me is, you and I would come, and Kristen probably had this experience. You'd walk into a village with me, and you'd see the water source, and you would say, I wouldn't let my animal drink that water.
Sure.
It's brown, it's viscous, it's shocking, let alone our children. And then, after the clean water, it's clean. It's water that you or I would drink. And what shocked me over time is that when I ask women, how are their lives different? I'm always expecting them to talk about dirty water becomes clean. And they always talk about the time reclaimed and what they're doing with that.
Right.
And we hear stories of entrepreneurship, starting small businesses, women saying, I get to lead my families. I spend more time with my kids.
Yeah.
But, imagine reclaiming 42 hours a week.
Yes.
Just all of a sudden, because somebody, wrote a check and a drilling rig rolled into your village and found clean drinking water, 220 feet, 22-story building underground. And now, you don't have to walk 6 hours, you walk 6 minutes.
That was for me getting sober. I'm like, I had 42 hours of free time on my hands all of a sudden.
Right?
Yeah. I think I kind of had that experience.
And
it's incredible.
And you've done something with
it. The downstream implications of having water are quite incredible. It's a really great base thing to try to affect change in. So Scott Harrison, you're fantastic. Everybody buy Thirst and read it and contribute to Charity Water because they're the good guys.
They can donate on your website, right?
Yeah, just charitywater.org. And thank you for your gift. That means a lot.
Charitywater.org. Okay. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. That's not a fact check song for you. It's just Wobby Wob says rolling.
He does.
Before we start.
Yeah.
And it makes me think of that song, Rolling, Rolling, Rolling. Do you know that song, Rolling, Rolling, Rolling?
Of course.
I never know what you're going to know and you're not going to know.
I know. It's hard to know.
Because you're getting all your music off the radio.
The radio and movies, TV.
Commercials, driving by bodegas.
Not so much that.
You keep your windows up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because sometimes I sing in the car and I don't want people to hear it.
And you have a high fear level, so you keep those windows up
Oh
tight.
yeah, in
and
case
the
people
doors
stick
locked.
their hands in,
Try to grab
try
you.
to get me. Yeah.
Get a bit of
Kidnap
those
me.
fatchies.
Yeah.
Got to
Yeah.
protect them.
Can't really blame them.
Who can?
Yeah.
Well, no, we can blame them. We're in an
Yeah,
era
I
now. We
blame 'em. Yeah.
Wait. What did we just say? What do we condone or condemn? Keep your hands off of
Leave me alone.
Moniker's fatchies. Those are hers.
Yeah.
Okay.
For real.
Really, guys, stop it. Enough.
Anyway, Scott Harrison.
You know what's really interesting? Maybe not to you, but to me.
Tell me.
But there's some parallels between Howard and Robin and you and I. I mean,
Well,
I don't
we
want
wish.
to. We wish.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't make no mistake. I don't think we're in their league at all. But there
Yeah.
are some parallels.
They're friends. We're friends.
And Robin is very famous for her fatchies.
Oh, she is?
Oh, incredibly famous. They do a lot of songs in tribute to her, and they always talk about her pendulous breasts. They're in almost all the songs.
Oh, really? Didn't
And she's
know.
really embraced them. I think shows some good nature on her part. Yeah, and then I guess to get even, he talks often about his small penis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it seems a lot tit for tat, which is the theme
literally.
of 19.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Just put that in the back of your
Craw.
or in your pipe and smoke it, whatever your preferred phrase is, to get us out of that.
Okay,
And into the
great.
facts.
Into our facts. Scott facts.
I want one time for you to just start a fact check by going, well, my conclusion is he was full of shit.
Wouldn't it be horrible if I did that on an expert? I sometimes have some fear of that.
It'd be kind of cool. We're definitely going to get an expert in here eventually who's completely full of shit.
Oh, that'll be fun to expose.
Yes. Like Inside Edition will expose. Ew.
Is that the one where Trump grabbed him by the pussy?
I don't know. But again, we've come out the other side of that where we think that he might have just been a spotter on a cheer team. He really got a bum rap for that. Poor guy was just helping out the flyer.
Yeah, you got to. Sometimes you
gotta
gotta
catch 'em by the pussy.
You just got it.
I'm more comfortable with you saying
I'm
that
so
word.
I'd hate saying it. Actually.
You do?
Weird. I mean, I like that bit that we do,
Mm-hmm.
but every time I say it,
Yeah.
it's like I have
get
a
nervous.
visceral. I have like a visceral kind of grossness and fear. Yeah.
I really have enjoyed a certain female comedians that I follow on Twitter or whatever that use the word a lot because I feel like they're reclaiming the word.
Oh, not the word.
Oh, okay, great.
No, the whole phrase.
Catch him by the hooter.
Or grab them, because we're making light of it.
Well, that's what
Well, we have to.
you got
and
to
it's
do.
fun.
Yeah, it's a good time.
And I like that we do that, but I just sometimes get nervous about people might take it as like,
We're condoning
yes,
grabbing pussies.
and we don't.
Unless they're your partner and it's...
Unless you want them to be grabbed
That's right.
or you ask for them to be
Because
grabbed.
some of them want to be grabbed.
Oh, it was
Access
Access
Hollywood.
Hollywood, not
Thank you.
Inside Edition.
Thank you, Hobby.
We wouldn't want, that
We
would
don't
be
want any legal...
issues.
No.
No.
By the way, you and I are both superstitious, and we both don't feel like we deserve the success of this experience. We keep trying to figure out how we're going to go down. And it just occurred to me, maybe just like a litany of lawsuits and now
We
Inside
might
Edition.
owe, all of our earnings.
Yeah.
Well-
This might be a net loss for us, but it'll still be a net win.
Because it's so fun.
That's right.
Yeah, the
It's worth it.
experience.
I'd pay to do this.
Me too.
Literally. If we had to pay $20 every time we came up to the attic to do this, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go see a movie that's $20. I certainly get way more entertained out of this than I do going to see a movie.
Yeah. I'd pay to talk to you. Yeah.
Let's pay each other. Then it's a net.
Great.
Great.
Great. Okay, Scott. So you mentioned the Pat Tillman documentary. Mm-hmm. And that's called The Tillman Story.
Okay.
In case people want to check it out.
It's great. You should.
You said that we see Rob Lowe's buns in About Last Night.
Oh.
And I don't think you do. I did some research, and I think I ruined my computer.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Like you got some
I was on
bad cookies
some
or something?
sites. I was on some bad sites, I think.
And you think they put cookies in or whatever?
Yeah, I like that they're called cookies.
I know you love cookies. You and Delta.
I'll take
really.
any kind of cookie.
Yeah, cookie.
Cookie. Anyway, but I think you maybe meant the movie Youngblood.
Oh, that's possible. The ice skating movie,
I don't know what it's about, but I think his
hockey movie.
Oh, I think his buns appear there. But in About Last Night, you do see just a tiny
Bit of
piece
crack.
of his penis.
Oh, you do?
A
Piece of penis?
Just a tiny piece of his penis.
And how did it look?
Side
Beautiful?
view. No, and you can't see it enough to make any conclusions.
Ooh.
Small side view. Small.
Inconclusive.
Tiny.
But I would imagine even that sliver you saw,
Mm-hmm.
I bet the skin looked soft and even.
Smooth.
Is it smooth, soft, and even? No discoloration, a consistent pigment.
Yeah, I would say so, but it was just so quick.
You have to imagine he has a very beautiful penis.
Oh, I believe that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that it's overwhelming in its girth or length, but I do think visually
Well, we don't know.
it is probably quite beautiful.
You never know.
You
okay?
don't know, but I'm just making an assumption based on his face.
Can you make assumptions? Like, I don't think that about boobs. Like, when I'm thinking about people's boobs, I can't really know what they look like.
That's true.
And I can't even really make any assumption.
Now, I've seen a lot of penises in my day, friends of mine's penises, and I got to say, for the most part, they tend to match the person's face pretty well.
Do you think that about boobs?
No, boob seems to be a real crapshoot. You don't know
Yeah.
what's coming when that brassiere hits the floor.
Yeah, I agree.
Chef's surprise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, it's and by the way, can I tell you, it's one of the best parts of being a young man and becoming sexual is removing a brassiere and then let's see what we got. There's so much excitement
Oh, wow.
about the reveal.
Yeah.
It's
That's
so
funny.
fun.
Yeah.
I-
Girls don't have that.
They don't, right?
No.
Like you're not watching the slacks come down like,
And
ooh, what do we
waiting.
got? It's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
The
The
difference.
boys are more visual. Yeah.
We don't want to perpetuate this notion that men and women are so different
No.
because we've come to learn they're not that different.
This could all be societal.
Well, that's true. It could be cultural, but
Yeah.
isn't that so interesting that
Yeah.
most girls, we'll just say most because I know like
Yeah,
our friend
there's always-
Jackie will be the first to admit she was on here on Christmas. She is waiting to see what present is inside that box.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, she was the only person who said she would want to walk in and see someone naked in her trailer. Of all the people polled, the very famous poll that we did about
Well,
me.
I wasn't asked.
Yes, you were. And you said you'd be scared. That it'd be scary.
Depends on the person.
Oh, okay.
Depends on who was standing there, I think.
Okay. I thought you had said you'd be scared to walk in and see like a adult man
Well, a
nude.
stranger, yes.
But no, I guess in this situation it was me.
I know. So that's why it gets confusing.
It
I
is
guess.
confusing, yeah. Because I'm a safe presence.
Right.
Like,
Well,
you know, if you open a door and I'm there naked, I'm not going to lunge at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Well, maybe. I don't know
No.
what kind of state you were in at that time.
I was sober and I was
you
at
were.
work.
Oh, yeah. So with the idea that it's you makes it a little different.
Could we do a hypothetical with you?
Yeah.
Let's say that you did a guest role on Friday Night Lights.
Oh, okay.
And you open your door. I'm going to go through the cast.
Ugh, dream. Okay.
Okay. You open the door and they've accidentally put Saracen in your trailer and he's naked.
I'd be excited.
You'd love it.
Yeah.
Okay. How quickly would you look, like in priority, what would you look at? Would you go straight to his penis? Or would you like check out his chest and his abs and
good
his
question.
thighs? And
Well, look, of
his
course,
hamstrings?
at first you would have to look at the penis because it's so unexpected.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But then immediately you'd avert your eyes.
You would?
Yeah, I think, because it's like, oh, I'm not supposed to see. Like, the response is like, oh, I'm not supposed to see this.
Yes, but I can't imagine anything greater that could happen to a guy than the door flies open, you're naked, the girl looking at you looks at your penis and can't look away. I think that would be like
I
a
know.
10 experience.
I know you want that. But
for the guy.
That's just not happening.
That's not ever going to happen.
No, because a human reaction is to think, oh, no.
This person's shy or
no, just this is a situation that is unexpected and I'm not supposed to be in, and I'm not supposed to see. So
Now,
then, this is what happens. So then I
Okay.
walk in and I see it, and I'm like, and I look, and then I
do you register everything about, like, do you do a mental snapshot? Yeah.
No.
For Saracen.
I mean, I would want to, but I would move away so quick
That you might miss out.
I'd miss it. And then what happens? Then he starts talking to me.
Okay, right. So that was going to be chapter 2 to this hypothetical is what if he immediately put you at ease? What you immediately surmise is, oh, he is so comfortable with this. So you open the door, you maybe even let out, so I'm Saracen, you're you. So come in. Oh, my goodness, what a mix-up. Am I in your trailer?
Yeah. This
Oh
is
my gosh,
mine.
I'm so sorry. I didn't even know. Normally I have the trailer that's for, where did you park?
Do you need... I'll give you a minute. Yeah, it's not good. Even if I like the person, it's
Yeah.
not. It makes me so uncomfortable.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's flip the
I wish
script.
my answer was different.
Let's flip the script. You're Minka Kelly. I'm
Okay.
I'm guest starring.
Okay.
Okay. You're in your trailer and oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh, hey, do you want to come in?
Yeah.
And that's the end of that. Yep. Yep.
Fuck, I would love to. Yeah. But if the woman just started a conversation, I would 100% talk as long as she wanted to talk.
Yeah.
I would be making no effort to get out of there.
I know. I don't know.
This is such a fun hypothetical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is just for a guy fun?
No, it's fun, but if it's someone you've never met before,
That makes it better, I feel like.
No, because it's already semi uncomfortable to talk to someone you've never met before already. So then there's this element of like, oh, something is weird and awry, and I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to see any of this. It feels.
See, for
Look,
me,
by
if
the
I
way-
know the person, then it gets complicated. Isn't
Well,
that
it's
interesting?
complicated.
If I walked into the Hanson's house and Amy was there naked,
no.
I
Oh.
would panic. And no
Right.
matter how casual and inviting and cordial she was being, I would be in a panic to turn around and get out of there.
Yeah, look, the
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
But if it's one of their neighbors who I've met 2 times, they're naked and they want to chat, I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, tell them to come by. You want me to write a note? Like I would, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, but look, the problem is if you're accidentally running into someone naked and it's a stranger, it's like, oh,
So sorry,
yes,
Charlie.
sorry. And the normal reaction is for everyone to scramble.
Okay.
So if one person is not scrambling,
Right, if they're sitting down in a chair.
then there's something maybe
My kind of
odd.
weird, yeah,
They're a
uh-huh.
little pathological.
Well, hold
Yeah.
on. No, pathology implies something destructive about it.
Yeah, there is. If you're naked and a stranger comes in and then you're just normally speaking to them.
No, in Erica Young's Fear of Flying, a very heralded and celebrated book, that's called The Zipless Fuck. That's fine. There's no moral imperatives there. Like, let's say I'm single, the person who's naked's single. Barge in, we start up a conversation, and then lovemaking ensues. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Morally? Everyone's single? That's a big win for everyone.
Everyone's really comfortable.
Yeah.
But my point is it's incredibly rare
Mm-hmm.
that everyone in that situation is going to be very comfortable.
No, it's 2 unicorns bumping into each other under a rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for them.
Scott Harrison. Son.
Scott Harrison. Well, good transition. Did Harvey Weinstein jerk off
Oh, into a plant?
at Bungalow? He did in a plant, but you said it was at Bungalow?
Bungalow 8?
Yeah, or no?
I thought that's
think-
where it was at.
No, it was at Socialista, a Cuban-themed club and restaurant.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Not Bungalow 8.
I mean, he might have done it there too, but yeah.
Great.
So, Oh, he said that a USA poll said that 42% of people don't trust charities. And I saw like a few different statistics. 1 in 3 distrust charities. 1 in 5 highly trust charities. So
No
you know.
consensus?
No, but like 1 in 3 seems to be the
General apprehension, 1 in 3.
Yep. And then you mentioned quickly something about millennial and avocado toast.
Oh, yeah,
And were you talking about the Washington Post article?
probably.
Yeah, that there's like, he said one explanation for why millennials have been slow to buy homes is avocado toast.
Yeah, that must be what I read.
Yeah. I guess he was on 60 Minutes, so maybe you heard
Oh,
about
that's
that.
probably more likely where I saw it.
Yeah.
But it's funny because my knee-jerk old man reaction is that that's bad.
Yeah.
But in reality, you know, I've read a couple different books on happiness, and one of the things that they always say about happiness is that traditionally people think they should save money and buy an object, but that objects really don't give people any true memories or happiness, but that experiences do. So one could argue that the experience of eating avocado toast is probably better than owning a McMansion.
I would agree.
Yeah,
agree
you
with
kind
you.
of.
That's sort of how I'm living my life.
Yeah, you're a little millennial-y in that way.
I guess I am technically a millennial.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, I do believe that. I believe that I'd rather enjoy my day to day and have the things I want daily instead I prioritize that
Mercedes.
over trying to have some big fancy item. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Or a
always
big
been
house.
the opposite. I'll like starve myself to save up for things I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
And I'm generally unhappy, so.
No, you're
No,
not.
now I'm happy.
You're happy. Kristen's quote that you couldn't really remember, but you said it was something about you don't need to starve to help.
Oh, uh-huh.
I spoke to her.
Went to the horse's ass.
I sure did.
And what'd she say?
And she said the quote is actually it's not about giving to charity. It's about working for charity. And you shouldn't have to live in poverty to work on poverty, which is great.
That's a nice quote. Mm-hmm.
And she's just recognizing that those people need money too. That they should get paid so that they can continue to help.
And you get what you pay for. So if you hire a very successful, organized executive, the charity's probably going to reach more people.
Yeah.
And you got to pay for what you get.
Yeah.
But it does feel weird to
Yeah.
know someone at a charity's making several $100,000. But
Yeah. That's all.
that's everything. All right. I love you.
Love you.